Yo, what's up everyone? So, I'm playing Tower Simulator 3, but this one is going to be a little different. Let's talk about if you want to play Tower Simulator 3, things to know. Well, for the first part, any simulator game, maybe Tower Simulator, maybe Train Simulator, Train Simulator World as well, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, OMSI2, you name it. There are a ton of DLCs. And the thing is that think about it as, if there was a game that you really like that's released, every few years, what happens if you have one game released on a certain year, and then from then on for the next 10 to 15 or 20 years they just release DLC for it over and over and over, new DLC that is. And it could, I think a lot of people, when they get into a game, the first thing they see is how many DLCs are available, and they get shocked, and sometimes some people, they get turned off by it. And I totally understand that, because some people feel that, oh man, I don't want to invest in this much. But the thing is you have to realize that a lot of people who got into these games, they invested in those games and the DLCs at the time of startup. Some who have more money are able to purchase as many as they want, but you do not, and you are not required to purchase all the DLC. You can just purchase the ones you want. Now for me, I've talked about this many times before on various podcast episodes, and it comes down to your income, and also what you feel that you want to accomplish in a game. It's really tough when you are into multiple simulators like myself, because that means there's a ton of DLC out there. But the thing is that most of the time you're probably going to be focusing maybe on your top three. For me, there's just so many, so it can be a little dangerous, as we can say in Japanese, yabai. Very, it could be very yabai. But the thing is, for Tower Simulator 3, you don't have to purchase all of them. Just the ones you like, because there's just so many aspects to it. The first thing that I do recommend is not even on Steam. It's actually on the Field Their website. Let me get to that real quick. Okay, so the first thing that I do recommend getting, and it may be a little expensive for some people, is near just as World Traffic and World Color. This one is a software that allows for real airports or airliners to be used. So Tower Simulator 3 tends to use, they don't use official airlines. They use their own that they've used for many years. And, that works perfectly. You only want to get this software if you want to use the real life airlines such as JAL, ANA, United, American Airlines, and so forth. Sorry, my phone's going off. But yeah, this also leads to also schedules being implemented, and it really definitely makes things much better. It's important to know, though, that there is a new software that was released. Let me go to the Field Their website real quick, and this is the one right here. This is Just Flight Traffic, which is very similar to the World Traffic that Just does, but this one's from Just Flight, and this one, of course, also adds the into the models, the liveries, animations, and so forth. So you have a choice. This one's cheaper at $29, and then you have the other one at $33. But both are, this is very new, so I don't know too much about it. I don't have it myself. I'm using the Neargis one, but I may give this one a try. It's just, this one definitely offers a lot. Okay, hold on. So with that being said, with Just Flight and the Neargis World Traffic and World Color Bundle available on the Field Air website, the next thing you want to get is this software right here. This right here is the Field Air portal, and as mentioned, the World Traffic and World Color Bundle and also the Just Flight Traffic are purchased through Field Air. So the cool thing about that is that once you download this Field Air portal, you can start pretty much updating the software. So every time you purchase an airport from Steam, you definitely want to hit this one right here. Scan for installed products, and pretty much have it detect your airport, so it can add the liveries, can add the schedules, and so forth. It's updated. So that's definitely very important to have this portal by Field Air. Again, every time you purchase an airport or there is an update to Tower Sim, you definitely want to scan your Steam directory and let it run and let the software update itself. So it works very well, but yeah, you definitely need this portal installed. Okay, the next one is T3 Scheduler. This one, do you need it? Probably, no, you don't need it. What it's for, though, is for those who wants to, for people who want to create their own random schedules based on existing schedules already included. So pretty much, let's say that you have an airport here. Hold on. Okay, right here. So you have the you select your location of your Steam maps, which I did right here. Then you have all the airports right there, and then you can start. Let's just pick one. Let's go ahead and pick. We'll just pick anything. We'll just do this one right here. Airport database. We use those in our design. Current schedule will become the base for any generated schedule until you read original schedule. Yes. And here it is right here. You can see the schedule. As you can see, where most of the arrivals and departures take place. This is very useful. So, like for me, I like to run my schedule between you always see me do this around 6 o'clock, 7 a.m. But yeah, if you want to do it around these hours right here, during peak time, then you can. But this gives you an idea of the schedules that Neargis has, and also the original schedule, and you can just see how things look. But you can generate your randomized schedule. There's a lot of things you can do. So, as you can see here, value per 4, flights, 51. You could add many flights. If you feel it's too dead during the daytime, then you could definitely increase that. But it's really up to you. And I think this is very useful for those who want to be a little bit more technical and add, their own schedules, or to generate a certain schedule. So, as you can see here, yellows for arrival, blues for departure, and so forth. So, yeah, definitely worth getting. The other software you can use is Tower Companion, and this one has real flight data. You can create realistic schedules in seconds using actual flight data, generate schedules for any official airport, even for the future, with latest times, terminal data, and call signs. There there's Career Journey, which showcases your progress through controller ranks, unlock achievements, and track detailed statistics about your performance. I don't use that much because I don't play Career. I know Career is the meat and bones of the game, but for me, I like just the quick play. Career is great, but I'm not to the point where I have a thing when it comes to happiness and frustration. And there are people who like to challenge themselves and be like the real life air flight traffic controller. I know for me, attention wise, there's just so many things that in real life that I have to pay attention to. As you can hear my phone going off, every time. There's a lot of things that I have happening in IRL on the business world that it's hard for me to focus things that are not that are really schedule based, because I'm really, when it comes to scheduling, I try to make sure my time is efficiently worked out. And for me, it's easier just to focus on quick games, 1 hour, because it can fit into my schedule. Whereas if I do career mode, there's a set schedule that is typically longer than an hour, and also I guess you could say the difficulty, the challenge tends to be very high, depending. So it depends on you. A lot of people like that challenge, and I think it's great. It's perfect for those who seek that. I'm a little bit different as a gamer. I like to play games, enjoy it without the frustration. I guess you could say that, you know how you watch a sport game, right? I enjoy sports, but there was a time when I used to be hardcore into my favorite teams and, would be invested in it. And when my team loses or they have multiple losses and it seems like they're not going anywhere. And I'll just tell you right now, Dallas Cowboys, New York Yankees, Los Angeles Lakers, LA Kings, what do you call it? Manchester United. It's when your team is not winning or they lose at a crucial game, that really is beyond frustrating. I tend to I cannot just let things go. I would be really, really upset for periods of long time, and it can affect my work. It can affect my well-being, and so I learned how to control that by trying not to get too invested in things that can really frustrate me. Like, for instance, Flight Simulator 2024. I talk about it during my YouTube podcast that when it comes to landing, I'm not great at landing, and oh my gosh, it's just, I try to do when I get certifications, fortunately those are quick, but when it comes to games like Train Simulator, where you can be riding around an hour or two, and then next thing you know, everything goes to hell right at that last 5 minutes when everything went very well, and then you have to start over. To me, that's a frustration that I tend to harbor, and I get stressed out, and I just want to keep on beating it when knowing I don't have the time for it. So I try to fit everything into my schedule, things that work, and things that are not as stressful. So I think that's one of the things you can control during quick play, whereas career, not so much. So yeah, this is Terra Companion. That's another software worth getting, which now leads us to the main game right here, Terra Simulator 3. Again, DLCs can be found on Steam primarily for anything, but you just have to remember that things by Field There and things by Near just tends to have, you can use the Near just design liveries and so forth. But for other companies from other third parties, unless they work directly with that company, you may have to use the basic livery. So it is what it is. For me, it's it's not too much of a, I know there's some people who are like, well, if they don't add this, I'm not going to buy it. Then don't buy it then. whether or not fake or real life airlines. I like the option, but if there is no option, it's still okay. It's still okay with me. I don't get too, especially if you want to enjoy that airport. For me, the gameplay is there, the airport's there, the flights are still there, and it's almost like how often, how much can you really look at that airplane? There's times when it's not as busy that you can go out and take photos, which I enjoy doing, but there are many times where it's just so busy that you just realize I just couldn't even look at the airplanes because there's just too many things happening all at once. But yeah, let's go here to quick play. And these are the airports that you and so forth. For me, I have pretty much nearly all of them. I think I'm just missing like 5 or 6. Those are the new ones. I tend to buy only when they are on sale. And for me, it's I tend not to spend if it's over 17 US dollars. I think once I did. I think that was for the Shanghai. I did when it first came out. But other than that, I try to get everything once it goes on sale. But yeah, Steam does have many sales. Career mode, as you can see here, morning coffee. This one is from 8 to 10. You get 1,000 points. You can see the levels of difficulty right there. So, but yeah, I think if anything is that this game, you can make it how difficult as you want, especially with quick play. For example, we're going to do San Diego right here. We're going to do select. Right here you see the traffic density. The higher it is, the more difficult it will be. The lower it is, the less difficult it will be. In other words, traffic density, the amount of planes that'll need your help. So for me, I'd like to have it between the 20 to 50% off, 10% off percent area. But for those who do 60 to 100%, my hat's off to you. These people are the ones that are very hardcore. They great attention, because for me, it's one thing to remember the actual things to say. For me, I haven't really had perfect vocals. Sometimes it just doesn't pick up my speech all that perfectly. So I ended up just typing it. I know for some people the vocal aspect is very important, and a lot of people, if they can't have that, then they say screw this game, forget it. But for me, vocals tend to work every time I restart my computer and start fresh. But when there's a lot of things happening online, then it tends to not remember or not detect my vocal patterns, and the words or just show up as something I did not say, but somehow it picks up something different. So yeah, get used to both, just in case if it doesn't detect your voice, just make sure you can definitely type that out or select the buttons that you need to do. There is another software. Let's go ahead and we're going to do this one. We're going to set it to low so at least you can see what's happening here. So we're going to do San Diego. San Diego's quite easy, since it's just one runway. Oh, one thing that also to know is that if you see the loading going very slow or it's taking a while, then you definitely want to restart your computer. But here it just takes a while to load. I think it's because I have too many DLC. Okay. There you go. So the thing is, as you can see here, the bottom corner is Mio. Mio is definitely good to have, especially if you want to add your own weather patterns. There's presets. But let's see if we can add some clouds right here. Here we go. So you can see here things changing.
Lindbergh ground. Frontier Flight 2818 with information India. Requesting push and start.
So that's how that works. Definitely you want to do presets for your buttons. Let's go ahead and look at F5 right here. Oh, of course. Let's do F4. We're going to do 27. And then we're going to go back to F5. Frontier Flight 2818. Pushback approved. See, this is the problem. This is why.
Command property error. Frontier Flight 2818.
You have to remember. That's why I do print screens. 27. So just remember that. 27. So we're going to go back to F5 here. Frontier Flight 2018. Pushback approve. Runway 27. See? It's saying facing southeast. Did you say that? No.
Negative. I'm on the ground. Frontier Flight 2818.
Frontier 2818. Pushback approved. 27. Runway 27.
Turn left 78 degrees. Frontier Flight 2818.
See? That's why, you know, you kind of have to make sure that you kind of get the vocal, because right now it's wrong. Frontier Flight 2818. Pushback approved. Runway 27. See? Approved facing. It keeps on saying
Command property error. Frontier Flight 2818.
and I just best just do that.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 27. Frontier Flight 2818.
I don't rely on the vocals all that much. It's very important for a lot of people. For me, it's not, because it's more of a detriment than anything. Here, I like to have this like this, but sometimes you have some busy airlines. F3, kind of like that, have that big old circle there so I can see the planes coming in. F4, you have to choose the flight, and remember to use airport lights if you want to use that. This one is how you get everything all situated. And of course here, your commands. Again, I use this the most because sometimes the voice is not all that great. Then you do W, because W you can use your mouse to go around and look. As you can see with the Neo, I added those clouds. So if you want to go see this thing, what are you going to do? You're going to do W, but then to go faster, you put Shift.
Lindbergh ground. Frontier Flight 2818 ready to taxi.
F5. Go S to go back. Frontier 2818. Continue taxi.
Command property error. Frontier Flight 2818.
Frontier Flight 2818. Continue to taxi.
Continue taxi. Frontier Flight 2818.
Yeah, sometimes you have to get close to the mic. I've used headphone mics. I'm using my boom mic to talk right now, the one I usually use for my podcast, but yeah, it is what it is. So I tend to use F6 a lot, just to, if things just don't work out. And it's really hard when there's too many planes coming up, so you kind of just really have to remember. Let's do F1. F1 takes you all the way there. Like taking this photo right here. F12, show everything, how everything looks like. So the next question is, let's say F7 shows you the flight. So we know that already with F5. We're going to do this. And then we know that there's no one there, so we're going to go say runway 27, cleared for immediate takeoff. And then I always do on reaching altitude, go to 1,000 feet, and then contact departure. Let's see, let's try that. Frontier Flight 2818, cleared for immediate takeoff.
Command requirement missing. Frontier Flight 2818.
Yes, I know I messed up there. So you know where I messed up? Right here. Hold on. 6. We have to say runway 27. Cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude, again 1,000. Cleared, contact departure.
Runway 27. Cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 1,000. Contact departure. Frontier Flight 2818.
And then let's go W. Kind of like to get that right. Get that shot. So shift of you again, catch that flight when it flies off. This is actually very cool to look at. So we know it's going to be taken off right here. Without the effects, of course. Oh no, it's going to go right there. It's going to go around. Let's do it right here. Yeah, get used to the using the WASD buttons and then the right mouse click button. And there you go, though. Beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, Mio really makes things nice with the these cars right here. Yeah, it makes it real nice when you can add your own clouds. Okay, we're gonna go down low. Let's do that. See if we get a good shot of this. Right. We go back a little bit. Hit A. No, hit B. Get it a little centered so we get that good photo. Yes, I like to take photos of my shots here. This one, not the best photo, so let's go from an angle like this. There it goes. You get to learn all the mouse commands. Here it is right here. I was pressing the wrong button. But it's pretty cool though. I really dig this game for you know how awesome it looks. And again, let's do F7. Let's take a look at these containers. I like it when you know they really put in the effort with actual AI vehicles that actually move. It adds a dimension to the realism. The only thing I don't like about it is that they tend to use a lot of these old 80s or 70s vehicles, like this van. Sometimes I see the Japan one, definitely not Japanese vehicles, but it's like, come on, give them something new. Let's look at this this parking structure right here. The solar. I think that's pretty cool. But again, I like it. I don't know. That's just me. I know they tend to reuse a lot of vehicles. You can see this blue one right here. For me, I like to have, even with OMSI, another game, but this is for that bus simulator game, I like to see a little bit more of, you know, differences in the vehicles used. Close up, the homes are kind of basic, but when you're far, you're not really getting close anyway. It's not that bad, right? And let's look at this truck. As you can see, the model, the wear, kind of like that. Let's take a look at the city right here. The water effects, really nice. But yeah, they did a pretty good job. Let's see. Let's get a picture of this. Close up. There we go. There's more of these airplanes right here. Let's see what we got. Airplanes. Anyway. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and back to menu here. And so then you know, of course, it will definitely keep all your information. Major faults. Oh my gosh, that one alone. I think I did a video 2 weeks ago. It was was it Shanghai? Holy crap. I think I had to go down to like 20% density because I think at 50 or 60, oh gosh, it was so much. And everyone was getting blocked and it was terrible. But yeah, these games are pretty fun. Awesome. So yeah, definitely Tower Sim 3. Definitely worth it. Will I do career mode? Yeah, definitely. One of these days I'll get to it. Again, this is where you would select the nervous design right here. And if you have just like you can do that right there. But yeah, I think once I have a good time and I'm able to do this where I'm in a good mood and don't have a lot of things happening, then yeah, I think I'll give it a try. But yeah, for my sake of not being frustrated, it's best I stay away from a career game and focus on click play for now, because I don't want to get to the point where I get easily frustrated and will spend hours upon hours trying to beat it. That's just to me. A lot of people, when I was younger, I used to do that with a lot of video games, but not these days. Especially when you have to manage so many things in your real life, professionally and career-wise, and also personally. So, okay, everyone, you take care, and I'll see you later. Wink, wink.